I am here to present AB 124, Justice for Survivors. This bill is a Legislative Women's Caucus priority bill. AB 124 would support survivors of violence and human trafficking by requiring the criminal justice system to consider the full context of a person's related circumstances and experiences throughout the court process. The impetus for this bill came in September of 2020 when I wrote to the governor in support of Kiana Aldrich's petition for commutation of sentence. At age 17, Kiana was sentenced to 10 years behind bars, despite laws that protect against victim criminalization, for her alleged role in the kidnapping and robbery of two men. These two men posted an online ad looking to purchase her for sex and to make pornography. And yet neither of these men faced any charges for soliciting sex from a minor. Kiana, however, was charged as an adult. Prior to her conviction, Kiana lived a life filled with abuse and trauma. At age 5, her father was convicted of sexually molesting her. She spent time at juvenile hall as a youth. At 16, she was arrested with a female pimp and agreed to testify against the woman, though she never was provided with counseling or safe housing. Had our system successfully intervened at any point, Kiana may never have landed in prison. But we know those systems fail far more women than Kiana alone. The ACLU estimates that nearly 60% of female state prisoners nationwide and as many as 94% of certain female prison populations have experienced physical or sexual abuse before being incarcerated. We also know that survivors of sexual and intimate partner violence and other severe forms of trauma are more likely to land in the criminal justice system. Yet our current legal framework lacks clear mechanisms to consider relevant factors and experiences that contributed to the commission of the offense. AB 124 addresses gaps and failures of the current legal system by allowing the court to consider how the defendant's own trauma contributed to the commission of the offense and/or conviction. Specifically, the bill will expand access to the human trafficking affirmative defense. It will expand judicial discretion to avoid imposing sentence enhancements on survivors. It would require that judges give great weight to youthfulness, trauma, sexual violence, and victimization through intimate partner violence and human trafficking when exercising their discretion at sentencing stages. It will allow the courts to consider whether the survivor's experience of trauma and/or violence was a contributing factor in the commission of the offense. And it would expand the vacatur law to apply to crimes that were the direct result of being a victim of human trafficking, intimate partner violence, or sexual violence. AB 124 will give survivors a mechanism to seek justice that is holistic and rehabilitative.